always scary your first time coming to jail.
It's extreme.
Locked up 23 hours a day.
Being banged up with druggies, scumbags.
I was driving like an idiot.
I went out shoplifting.
Armed robbery.
And I got 7.5 years for it.
I'm serving a life sentence for murder.
I've been in prison for 13.5 years. My classification is high because I'm untried and there's an allegation of murder. Is what's happening to me fair? I don't think so.
Phil is facing his last 24 hours at Greenock Prison. Tomorrow he will return to Belmarsh Prison in London after a short transfer for family visits.
This is my life, reduced into 3 bags.
At Belmarsh, Phil will find out if he is to be extradited to face trial for a crime he is accused of committing while living in the United States. Arrested in 1999 for murder and armed robbery, Phil has always denied his involvement.
The detective said to me, you could get the death penalty. I thought, that's it, I'm gonna die in America. You know, I thought my life was over. 40 odd days later, the prosecution had been speaking to my lawyer, to the family of the victim, and they said, look, we've taken this guy's clothes, we've taken his stuff, we don't have anything, like it's not matching up. The prosecution decided they didn't want to prosecute me, and they discharged me from prison. And then that was it. I got on with my life as best I could.
But the case was reopened after another suspect implicated in the murder made a plea agreement with the Florida police.
2001 comes, case is supposed to be tried, no trial, no trial, no trial. No judge said, Phil, you can't leave the country. Phil, you can't go out of state. And I just decided that I was gonna go home. I needed to clear my brain.
In late 2001, Phil returned to his hometown of Greenock in Scotland.
When I first came back, I would communicate with my lawyer in America. Then it came a point where I had a job, I had somewhere to stay, I had a girlfriend, you know, and I just stopped talking to that lawyer. I just stopped communicating with that part of the world, and I didn't know that a warrant was issued for my arrest.
Phil failed to maintain contact with his American attorney and got on with his new life in Scotland. But a year later, everything changed.
We were on our way to meet up with some friends, we go to a party. I was on the phone, I was driving like an idiot, I was driving too fast. A car overtook me, there was gesturing, that car hit its brakes. I tried to overtake that car to avoid the collision. There was another car coming the opposite direction, and I hit that car. I was in and out of consciousness for probably 3 or 4 days. And I remember one day, I was in consciousness and my cousin said to me, you know, you would tell me if it was me. You know, somebody died in that accident.
Driving at 60 miles per hour, Phil crashed into a taxi head-on. A 62-year-old woman who was a passenger was killed and several others injured.
The fact that I killed somebody in an accident, I caused the death of another human being, It played on me. I wanted to sign myself from the hospital's custody and go into the police custody. When I did sign myself out, the police said to me, "You're under arrest," and they were like, "It's an allegation of murder in Florida." My whole insides just sunk.
Shortly after his arrest for extradition, Phil was charged with causing death by dangerous driving.
The first opportunity that I had to go into court, I just pled guilty straight away. And the prosecution said, "Yeah, we accept that." And that was it. Had I been driving the correct speed and paying attention and not talking on the phone, then that accident wouldn't have happened. It'd been irresponsible.
Phil was convicted and served 2.5 years. In 2006, he completed this sentence and has been in prison ever since, fighting his extradition to the US for murder.
Tomorrow, then I'm off for a few days. Good luck with everything.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Phil's one of the occasional prisons we have that's a bit unique. Phil's actually been in prison for a very long time, but actually has not been convicted of the crime that he's currently been held for. Generally, if you're on remand, you do know that there's time limits in which it will be disposed of. That hasn't happened for Phil, and as such, he's in here and he doesn't really have a sense of when it will come to an end, if ever.
The reason why it's taking so long is because the judicial process is slow, and because I make repeated challenges to my extradition on human rights grounds.
Phil has lodged another appeal to the European Court of Human Rights. If this appeal fails, then he could be flown to the US for trial. Phil is now the longest untried prisoner in the UK.
I think the uncertainty of Phil's future has had an impact on him, but he's been very focused on not letting it be overbearing his life.
Hey, come on, Phil. Anger, remember, focus aggression. Easy for you. I just go one day at a time. I just go one day at a time. Try and think too far away in the future, you drive yourself nuts. So you focus your anger and your aggression in a positive way. It's the only way I can stay focused in here. It's not much else for me to do. For me, there's a lot of benefits. There's the physical, there's also the mental. When you lift a heavy weight, you have to channel aggression in order to lift that weight. You don't have a personal life, you have a regime. You have what the prison service says you can have. But the way I have a personal life and the way you have a personal life, it's a gulf between the two. You have to experience this in order to understand the gravity of what 13.5 years or thereabouts does. And when somebody's on a remand situation, he can't progress to less secure conditions. He can't demonstrate that he's no longer a risk. So that person's life is curtailed a lot more than a convicted person's life is curtailed.
It's Phil's last night in Greenock Prison before his transfer. Today, Phil will be taken to Belmarsh Prison. where he will await the decision of his appeal.
This is me starting my journey. That's me off, pal. Take care, all right?
We can hope something happens for you soon.
We'll see what happens, boys, right? Aye.
All the best, Mark. Right, man. Hope you get a result, didn't it?
What's that? You taking my stuff up? Aye. Happy?
Happy for leaving us?
No. Miss you. You see, like, if when I leave, staff will give me hugs, they'll wish me well, will laugh and joke, they'll hope that everything works out well for me. But as far as the machinery of the prison system's concerned, I'm lost. I'm designated high-risk prisoner. I'm going back to Belmarsh, a category A prison. And that's it for me. It's shit.
Phil, what's in the bag that's on the bag there?
Right.
So there's two bags that we held, plus the bag with the laptop.
Aye.
Right, mate?
All right. All my friends, my cousins, some are married, they've had kids. You know, they've had mortgages, they've bought cars, they've got jobs. You know, they're building futures, they're building relationships, but most importantly, they're building memories.
Right, one more thing, just sign it.
So all these things happen, weddings, funerals, christenings. So you just feel like you don't exist. People forget that's the nature of human beings.
Right, all the best.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a pleasure, mate. I feel like I've been forgotten. Out of sight, out of mind, put it that way.
The way my mum brought me up was to have respect for your elders. You should never ever touch an old person, so it's all a child's bedroom. Just to have respect for the elderly, women and children. But anything other than that, I don't give a fuck if they have any morals.
Hello, David. Welcome back.
I'm always ready.
Right, I need a signature off you. Firearms Act, because you're a convicted prisoner.
Ah, man.
Can't own a firearm
Aye,
5
but-
years to your date of release. Can you sign that there for me?
Class, man.
Because you'll be done with the Firearms Act.
I need to speak to you anyway.
Right, David, up you go.
When we're fighting up in the hall and that.
We already know we're on it.
First 10 years coming in and out of prison, I'd do a sentence, get out, be out 4 or 5 weeks.
Stop back and go.
One time I was only out 12 hours and I was back in. Aye. Mate, got a result, man.
Did you?
Aye, looking at 4.5, I end up getting 37 months. Dino got 32. Brilliant, man. I should have been getting about 4 or 5 years for what I'd done. Along with my cousin, you know what I mean? We should have got hammered. So we got off lightly. Result. We're happy with what we got. Just fuck it, eh? Do your time, get back it, come back.
David's cousin and co-convicted, Dean, is also being admitted to Edinburgh.
If I hadn't started taking drugs, I'd never have been in jail. This time, it was legal highs. I become erratic as soon as I take them. They turn me dangerous. And I woke up in the cells. I didn't even know what I'd done. The police had to tell me.
What happened at court today?
32 months.
And how do you feel about that? And do you want money on your phone as well?
I put £8 on it.
Yeah.
Stick that one out. Just.
Didn't even know where I was when I woke up. Obviously, after a few seconds, I figured I was in a police station, but first few seconds, I didn't have a clue where I was. Taken through an interview, and they thought I was lying to them, and I said I didn't know. Couldn't remember none of it. Wee bits and bobs have came back to me since, but not a lot.
They're saying they're trying to find a space for us. But they've got to remember, we've been fighting with so they've got to fucking...
Should have asked them if I fucking try and put us in the same cell, innit?
Aye, we will get the same cell.
Nah, maybe not, mate. You know what I mean? We should, hopefully, you know what I mean, but
Aye, we will
see what happens, bro, innit?
Due to their violent history, the cousins are keen to be locked up together for protection.
We both know a lot of people. But sometimes it helps and sometimes it doesn't, because some of the people are always enemies. So sometimes you can go into a wing and it'll be all right for a few weeks or a few months, and then it will eventually kick off.
Yeah, where is it you're planning on moving me? Aye, no, where?
Oh, Harrison.
Ideally, you might try and get us both on the wee side. Yeah, Hemston. Hemston, the wee side of the bottom flat.
We've got off to stay thick and thin, bruh. You know that. We've got off to stay thick and thin all the way, you know what I mean? Side by side, we can't make any wrong moves, nothing, mate. No. I wasn't got to leave Dean on his own. Family need each other.
The cousins have been convicted of multiple offences, including assault to injury, robbery, theft by shoplifting, breach of the peace and housebreaking.
I robbed somebody after taking legal highs, taking bath salts.
They were caught after committing a series of violent attacks.
3 people got robbed. One of them was just an 18-year-old guy. As we followed him, just pulled him into a stairway. He put a blade to his throat. Asked him for his money and cut him a wee bit, cut his throat a wee bit. The same night, 1:30 in the morning, a guy was going home to the pub after watching a football with his pals. Grabbed him in the same way as the other guy had been grabbed. Cut him, cut the back of his ear, taking his wallet, his back pocket.
What the hell, mate? I got 32 months. I got 37.
32?
You got 32, I got 37. Now, years SRO we got.
You delighted, man.
I can remember bits. I can't remember exactly everything that happened. What legal high does to you, it puts you out your mind. Puts you in another world. You don't think about things, you just do them. Think about the consequences later.
32 months, mate.
Boys?
Aye, mate, aye.
What's happening, man?
Mate.
I wish it never happened, but there's nothing you can do now, it's happened. Sitting here, doing my time, fuck it. Just wait till I go out. Happy days.
They're put me up on the third flat, mate.
Is there no spaces to put the two of us together? Aye, no, but that's what I'm saying. We've been asking for ages to be put together.
Show.
Where's that?
Fucking right, well, you're going to this, we'll use that jumper. I'll take these off for you. Fucking, I'll try and get them, get us a double pay anyway, you know what I mean?
The station, right? Look here.
Take what because, right? Right, you got it. Express, aye.
Me and my cousin Dino, we're caught because we go hanging together. We wanted to get put in together. We're fighting with the same person. You know what I mean? I'm not going to walk into an ambush and I've just started my sentence, you know what I mean? I can't be arsed fighting anymore. You know what I mean? But if I go to it, I will.
Right, I can get that signed off, we'll get you up there.
I'm easy. If I go to my door, I'll do that. I want to be with my family. This will be well appreciated. No, I know. It takes a bit of pressure off you, you know what I mean, when you've got family around you, because I've seen a lot of people over the years in here. Aye, that's my cousin there. Like, they're not got no family, they've got no help. So some of them can't handle it, so they just go downhill, take their lives, they can't handle being in it, they're not made for the place. Whereas myself and others, they're made for it. They don't want to be here, but they're made for it. We take it on the gym, we do our time and move on and get ready for the next sentence.
Prison staff decide that David can share a cell with his cousin.
It's hard enough trying to live in here, especially when you've got enemies. And when you've got enemies, it's just hard to do things. That's why you just keep your head down and get your sentence done. The quicker you get your head down and get into it, the quicker you can get home. Aye. Lunchtime now, bruh. What's happening, bruh?
No.
Oh,
shit. What are you doing back in here?
It's what happens, mate. Armed robberies and that, assault robberies. You've got a result, man. Fuck. Six till when? Cool.
Started taking illegal highs last year. They've probably been the biggest downfall in my life, to be honest. Like, I'm glad that they've been banned. I think I'd have been dead if I hadn't gone to jail. It destroys you. I mean, look at my hands. End up with it. Because I was injecting illegal highs, I ended up with it was like a flesh-eating bug. I ended up like rotting away all my skin. Put me on drips and that. I was for about 3 months because of it. You think that you're buying out a shop, it must be safer than buying something from like some dealer or something, but it's not. It's worse.
I do have some sort of remorse for things that I do, but in a way I don't really have any. When you're brought up, the way I was brought up, I had to bring myself up in the streets. You had to live fast, or you became a victim. Some things that have got to be done have to be done. And obviously, you can't have feeling guilty or having any sort of remorse when you're doing things that have to be done. I don't lose sleep over it either. I sleep fine at night.
I was shitting myself. I was like, that, what have I let myself in for? What the fuck are you doing in here? I'm not the type of person that should be in here. I got 8 years, 3 months down to 5 years, 6 at Edinburgh High. A sentence like that can either make you or it'll break you. You just got to get mentally prepared for it, because if you don't, then you're going to struggle big time. Didn't even know I was getting sentenced, right? I was going to work that day. I had all my stuff to go straight to work for court. I was absolutely shitting myself going up to the jail in the van, like, it really was. Like that, oh my God. Didn't want to be here, know what I mean? Yeah, it would be away from your family. It was nuts. They busted my house, so I knew I was coming here. I knew. Look, these are the two that are sitting on the eggs. That's meatloaf, and that's drumstick. She's one of the ones that you would eat. Meatloaf and drumstick. Hey, this one is chicken and chips. No, you can't. That one's chicken tikka. Give me a wee kiss. Mwah.
Kissing it?
I know, they're so cute.
Kirsty has a job working with the prison chickens.
One then, let's go. Beep beep. Beep beep. Every day that they obviously get clean feed and water, and then obviously we usually bring them a wee treat down, usually at night when we're locking them up. I never ever thought I'd be doing this. When I say that in here, I really did me like. It's mad to think, eh? Chickens in the jail. Babysitting them. Wait, I need to move the water and everything.
In. You, madam, in. Move.
People have this perception in prison, oh, you must beat them up, give them bread and water every day and do this, you know. It's not that. Do we go back to the draconian days of, you know, give them nothing, do nothing with them, and have angry people leaving here? Or do we try and give them a bit of responsibility that hopefully they won't then come back again?
This one always follows us about when we're doing the feed. Are you going to get off that?
The job here with the chickens is quite a privileged job. If certainly the girls working here do not get out every day to then feed, do the water, clean them out and all that, then obviously the chickens are going to suffer.
Kirsty was convicted of intent to supply heroin, an offence that can carry life imprisonment.
They valued it at £46,000 worth, but it's no worth that. Isn't it worth that in the street? Like, I would have paid, like, what, about £6 for it? 6, 7 grand, yeah.
The police found the heroin at her mum and dad's house.
It was a blow to my parents, I know that. They were like puzzled. How the hell are all that drugs in the garden? And that's where it was, in the garden, that's where they got it. It was hidden in ivy, like front, side and the back. Half a kilo. Waiting on the guy coming to pick it up for like 2.5 months, and then boom, I'm like that, oh my God. They just said that they had received a bit of information, they had to act upon it. My partner didn't even know where I was hiding the stuff, know what I mean?
For over a decade, Kirsty had been taking and then dealing drugs.
I started like using uppers and that. Started selling them, going to like dance events and that, and then ended up getting into like heroin with my friends and that. So it went from one extreme to another. Staying up for like days on end and things like that. Crazy, see when I think back now, it's like you're in a bubble. It's no reality basically. The world's going on around you, but yours is just standing still. You're constantly like totally wrecked every day. You're always chasing that first high, aren't you? Always. I've lived it, so both sides of it. Selling, being addicted, came up mean. Just a heavy addiction, and I mean, not just to heroin, to crack, to legal highs.
So did you start selling to your friends?
Yep. I'm not going to apologise for it because I've done it to feed my own habit. It was either me supply drugs right to feed my habit, or me go out, steal, rob, do things like that, kind of feed my habit, and I didn't want to do that. So I ended up selling it. A lot of the people that I sold to were like my childhood friends, that I grew up with. Like they were buying it like off their benefit money. I think I just made it easier for them because I was there.
If you look back and could pinpoint it on one thing that made your life go down this path, what would you think?
Probably two things. My uncle was murdered in 2004 and my relationship broke up with my partner that I'd been with for 10 years. And thinking back that year, because that's when I started going crazy, basically. Being in and out of prison, 10 years. The biggest sentence I'd done before this was 32 months. That was the sentence I got just before this. My last sentences before that, I wasn't interested in changing. I was constantly getting drugs and kind of everything. Everything that you weren't meant to be doing. I'm just sausage roll and beans, darling. Thanks, darling. Constantly in trouble on report, constantly rolled up, fighting, everything. Oh, this is lovely, a la carte food, don't you know that? That's meant to be kebab. Oh my God.
That is shocking.
I do regret it. Put my family through a hell of a lot of shit. My partner, the whole shebang. I lost my job, a really good job that I had, I lost that. Everything. I've lost my liberty. Fucked it all up. I want to go back to that now. They need to be in here. I could have a better life than in here. I've done it, I've had a better life. Genuinely had enough. I'm just, this life isn't for me no more. I never ever said that I would never be back here. Trust me, it'll never happen again.
has its ups and its downs, you know. Just people ask you, oh, where's your accent from? A Glasgow accent or whatever. But you just tell them straight, you know what I mean? I'm a traveller, a gypsy, and that's it.
It's Sammy's last 24 hours in prison.
The guy I was with, he decided to smash a shop window, and I decided to join him like an idiot. Only broke the window, and that sheriff I was in front of, you know, he just decided to make an example of me. Because the last sentence I done, it was him I stepped in front of again. So I think he's just got it in for me.
Sammy's in prison for attempting to pervert the course of justice.
He gave me 6 months, and I started laughing in front of him. And he gave me an extra 30 days for laughing at him. Celebrity. La 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 la. Stepping out of a caravan, being able to open your door and stepping out in nice, beautiful, fresh air all the time. To be locked up, you know what I mean? And it's hard, but in here you're just a number, aren't you? So.
You're out Wednesday.
Second flat, Charlie speaking.
Prison officer Charlie works at Through Care Support. He helps prisoners settle into life outside jail.
Tomorrow, Samuel is presenting himself homeless. We're going to try and get him some sort of accommodation.
See you later, mate, right? All the best.
Samuel's a pretty complex case because he comes from a travelling family. So it's touch and go regarding housing at the moment. He's already had issues with the housing staff. They might not want to accept him. Right, we've got your housing appointment. We know you've got a wee bit of history, so they know about it. You've been here before, and there's obviously been a bit of conflict between you because you weren't getting what you want. So you need to understand that what we get tomorrow is what we get. It's not, can't be exactly what you want.
Aye, something bad happened before, I got a knockback and I turned quite psychotic. See, people's always promising me the moon and stars, and I'd rather just tell them, look, keep your promises. You know what I mean? Don't make a promise, just try, you know what I mean? And I got a knockback anyway, and I tried to burn the office down. When I was young like that there, you know, I was about 16, 17, and I started getting into fighting. My mum's dad was a very good bare knuckle boxer in his time. Just something that's been passed down generations. It was mainly about making a name for yourself. The more years have passed, the more you were going up the ranks, and that's just the way it would go. I never wanted to do it to begin with. I think it really is stupid. It's not something I like, but I suppose it's, you know what I mean, it's like something that you're born into and you can't help it.
These days, Sammy has little to do with his family.
My mum, she liked to drink, and one day she left the house. She started drinking, and she came back to the house. My stepdad made her a piece and square sausage, and she was eating it, and she started to choke. And before I know it, she was lying on the floor, and she stopped breathing. And me and my stepdad started giving her resuscitation. She looked at me and she died with a smile on her face. So she did. She died happy. I lost all interest in life, and I turned completely different that day she died. couple of days after a funeral, my stepdad decided to throw me out of the house because of my drinking.
Send on your exercise!
It could be worse.
Definitely. I used to wake up every morning knowing there's somebody there for you.
At least you've got somebody there, though. Tell me, I've got nobody. I've always been like a loner, you know. I mean, I've always managed to survive on my own. But it gets tiresome after a while. I'm sick and tired of being on my own. I would like to have some kind of family I could fall back on. I think it's time to grow up, honestly, because if I keep going the way I'm going to either be found dead and I'm going to end up spending the rest of my life in here. And I would rather have neither. I think God's got a plan for me. I do.
It's the morning of Sammy's liberation.
Hi, Sammy. Good morning. Right, cheers. I've been through this a million times, you know. I mean, it's not nothing I've not been through before. My plans is go with Charlie, get Charlie to sort out what we're going to do. Then he says he'll be with me till about 4 or 5 o'clock. No other jail again. As long as I can live, honestly, I'm going to try and stay at it. It's a load of shit. Charlie did say that it wasn't going to be the greatest thing in the world, but he said any's better than nothing. But he's right, you know, I mean, anywhere's better than a jail cell. I mean, at least you've got a handle on your door you can open whenever you want and walk out for a bit of fresh air. So we'll see how it goes. Right.
Due to Sammy's violent history, Charlie will have to escort him to his housing appointments.
What I would like in life to be try and get my life on track, to try and get some kind of life. I'm 28 now, so I suppose it's just as good as any to try and settle down. So it's try and keep my head out of prison. I would like to get a job. I would like to get a job, but I'm not a very well-educated person because I've never done a lot of schooling. I'm not wanting to go to my grave with nothing. I want to go with my name last to the edges. See what happens.
Sammy, guys, going to be ask you some questions.
Okay. Honestly, I find every part of my life just a test, you know what I mean? I find every part it's a test.
For liberation, this is what the phone numbers are going to need on it for the day and how to contact us if anything goes wrong.
Okay. But I just hope there is a bit of peace out there for me. But whether it comes, it's a different matter.
Thanks, Samuel. This is 3 months, son.